right, it's Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with the unbeaten Brian Norman Jr., who has a 12-round showdown on Saturday, May 18th at the Pachanga Center against Giovanni Santillan. First and foremost, how's everything been, man?
Oh man, everything been good, man. Just waiting for what is it, next weekend, May 18th.
Obviously, this opponent you're facing, I'm sure you saw how he looked against Alexa Rocha, the positioning of the fight, with Terence Crawford moving out of the weight class. I mean, at some point, this is pretty much maybe, if not maybe the actual title fight when you think about it. Would you agree?
I would agree. The guy he is number one. Like you just said, what he did to Rocha, very great opponent. This pretty much is a title fight, man. 23 years old, fighting for a title, pretty much. That's how I look at it.
When you saw his performance against Alexa Rocha, did you expect that type of performance, or just Alexa Rocha just didn't look himself that night?
Nobody, literally nobody expected that performance. That's why it was talked about so much. But the man, he came in hungry. He came in like he had a point to prove. So, um, how I look at fights is forget the opponent. It's all about you. It was how bad Giovanni wanted that win. It's the reason why Rocha, took those steps back because he seen how much Giovanni wanted that win, and he wasn't backing down no matter what. So that was only Giovanni how bad he wanted that win.
Not giving away the game plan, right? But stylistically, like Stantillion likes to come forward and kind of bang, like
Mhm.
Rocha likes to bang. And sure enough, you ain't afraid of no smoke. You come in the fire as well. So with this particular fight, are you looking at Santillion as just kind of just a straightforward fighter, or are you looking at him as like a multi-dimensional fighter, just in that case?
I am preparing for every situation possible. I seen that, of course, his main thing is he does like coming forward. But I also seen that he like to box around a little bit from time to time if need be. So I'm preparing for the greatest fighter ever. I'm training like I'm fighting Roy Jones. I'm training like I'm fighting Mike Tyson. I'm training Manny Pacquiao. So I'm training for every aspect of opponent that I could be facing.
When you had your performances against like Quentin Randall, right? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people claim that was like a 50-50 fight, and you made it look quite easy. I
Mm-hmm.
know that your last fight, which probably didn't wasn't expected the way that you went, right? I know
Yeah.
some Twitter tweets was coming at you, and in
Mm-hmm.
addition to that, some headbutts. Just what's your thoughts of that fight, and which is what happened in that particular fight?
Is that regarding my last fight?
Yeah, the Figueroa fight.
Yeah. So what happened with that fight? I came in overconfident. Matter of fact, I came in looking past him, looking for Giovanni. I was in my head, I was already not even in the ring with Figueroa. I was already in the ring with I just need to knock this guy out and just go ahead and fight Giovanni and stuff like that. So that's where my head was at. I wasn't even in the fight necessarily speaking. So that's when you got humbled. I got very humbled in that fight, as you seen. So you can't look past anybody. I got right back up, and if you seen, I really wasn't even hurt for real. I got dropped. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I just making sure it was a car driving by. But he's as you seen, as soon as I got dropped or whatever, I had took my little break. I said, "Dang, I'm really down here." Got right back up and went back to work. So I really wasn't hurt. It was just a flash knockdown. It's like, boy, tighten up on your P's and Q's. You slipping on your pivot. So I said, all right, let me tighten up real quick. So um, it woke me back up as well. Like like I got too comfortable with where I was at, so it woke me back up. Like the fact that I'm human. Hard work is what got you. Hard work is staying focused. So I always work hard, but also staying focused. So it woke me back up and got me on my P's and Q's.
I really appreciate your transparency. And I guess, my next question is like, would you consider that kind of a blessing, right? Because right before the Giovanni fight, I know that you weren't overlooking him, but having
Yeah.
a maybe a humbling, experience right before this big fight,
Mhm.
would you say this was a blessing?
I think it was the biggest blessing of all time. So it was two reasons. First of all, for a personal standpoint, with the like I said, it humbled me part. So, like I said, overconfident stuff like that. So it made me get back on my P's and Q's regarding that. Then also, um, stepping into the ring or whatever recently, because I time with Top Rank last year and stuff like that. My whole time I've been trying to do too much to try to show out for the fans. I try to show out for these, for the TV instead of really being myself. I try to show out for everybody else. And then after the fight, like you said, the Twitter stuff, everybody coming at me and everything like that. Matter of fact, forget that. I go back to the Quentin Randall fight. He was the Olympic guy and everything like that, or whatever. And I pretty much won every round, straight whitewashed him, but everybody started doubting me. So I slowly started coming into where I am right now. Of forget these fans, they gonna have their own opinion on it. They gonna like it, they gonna dislike it. But at the end of the day, did you win? You get what I'm saying? So you see, David Haney went out of himself, and was trying to fight Ryan Garcia. And you see what happened now. Everybody down talking David Haney, even though he don't work hard, he done did this, he done did that, all at a very young age. So I see how the fans turn on people and everything like that. So now my whole mindset is forget that. I'm finna go get my W. I'm finna go win. And I'm not showing that for nobody. I'm finna show out for myself. My natural fighting style also is fan friendly anyway. So that's what my head is at right now. Fight
Awesome.
for me, fight for what I love to do.
Now my next question is obviously, like I said, this is going to position you potentially. You might, if you win against Giovanni, you might end up entering the WBO championship fight, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
at that point, I know Terence has been in the division, but he moved out. Jaron Ennis has a belt. Stanionis and Mario Barrios. Like looking at it, who do you feel is the best at 147? Because I believe you've been in the ring with Jaron and Terence, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So regarding that question, you asking that like I'm supposed to say somebody else besides myself.
Well, I
So I
guess
mean,
I guess my bad. I guess outside of yourself, right? I guess outside of yourself, right? I guess that's a better question, right?
yeah. So, so regarding that, we can't really say for real. They're going to shake up the what's the weight division and see where it go. Like you said, you got me, Barrios, Stanionis, and Boots, a whole bunch of other guys. You got Blair Cobbs and Adrian Broner in the fight. You got Conor Ben sitting in the cut somewhere. You got all these guys and everything. So let's forget the hypotheticals. Let's go on and make it happen.
Mhm. Mentioning that, like I was saying, like you sparred Boots, and you've probably been asked a million questions about this, but just with that sparring session, well, not details, do you feel confident that sparring, and if you face each other in a fight, it's going to be completely different, and is that a fight that you won?
Sparring is always just sparring, but when it comes down to fight day, I'm always the most confident with anybody that's up in the ring with. So of course I believe in myself in every fight.
Do you think that you and Boots will end up fighting? Because I know Boots wants to fight Terrence, and so
Yeah, Boots said he want to go undisputed one day, and so do I. So
mhm.
that answers itself.
Gonna have to see some Brian Norman, right?
Yeah,
My last question
like I
on
said,
okay.
I'll ever say he real cool people. Him and his daddy. We've been up there a few times actually up there in Philly. So they real cool people. All of that, chop it up with them and everything like that. So they cool people, but boxing is boxing, and we both want the same goal. So if we meet up there, we got to meet up there.
And I think you're the pretty much one of the only few, and I know I've seen some stuff on it. Just if you could touch on if Boots and Crawford would face each other, do you have a prediction of a winner of that, or you just it just doesn't matter, I guess.
I can't really give a firm prediction on it, but if I had to pick somebody, I'd rather go with Terence Crawford simply because they are, as you see, they are very identical for the most part. Switch hitters and things of that nature. But Crawford just been in the game for a longer time, been in, I can just say up at that and those big fights for, uh, as you see, a whole lot more bigger fights than Boots or whatever. So regarding that, I have to go with Terence Crawford. But you see the eye test, he right there with Terence Crawford, so we can't say.